Welcome, Nerdyverse, to the Circle of Nerds live stream here on this wonderful Friday afternoon right before Labor Day weekend. I am super excited to be hosting Dennis Furia, creator of Deck of Wonders. It is a current Kickstarter that is up right now. I believe there's about 13 days left on that Kickstarter to go and back. It is already funded, funded in less than
Yeah,
48
woohoo!
hours. Um,
Amazing community. It blew my mind.
yeah, yeah. So spoiler alert, I was able to review this game just before it went live on Kickstarter, and I have been super excited since the moment that I opened it. It's it's unlike anything that I have ever played before. It allows you to we'll talk about the game as we start playing. But I I I,
You're
uh,
too
I want to
kind.
turn it over to you. I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself a little more. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah. Well, like you said, I'm Dennis Furia. I am the creator of Deck of Wonders. And gosh, I guess I hope people will be surprised to know that this is my first game, and my first time through Kickstarter. So that has been a huge adventure. I've been into board gaming and into video games in general as well my entire life. Way back as kids, playing Stratego with my brothers and starting fights over that. All the way through, adulthood now, where date night for me and my wife Jen looks like Hive or Star Realms or Codenames Duet, any one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm also a big fan of CCGs. I played a lot of Hearthstone back in the day, and Deck of Wonders was kind of the synthesis of that love, of my love for deep, complex games, and the fact that I'm also a father of a 4 and a 6 year old with a third on the way in December, and I have no time and no ability to coordinate with my other friends who are slammed schedule wise. That's not a parent problem; that's an adult problem
Sure.
of just having no time. And so, yeah, hopefully, what Deck of Wonders is for people is that deep experience, something that mimics the feel of playing Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, mimics the feel of progressing through a campaign and getting told a story and all that stuff, just in a format that you can enjoy on your terms, in little 15-minute bursts wherever you have some time and a little bit of space on your table.
Awesome. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know or maybe new to Deck of Wonders, one of its huge appeals or one of its huge draws is the fact of the matter that it is meant to be played in not only short bursts but also in a small space. So
Mm-hmm.
I have always been a fan of games that are compact. I like to get into games right away. You know, nobody likes to spend 2 hours setting up a game and tearing down a
Mm-hmm.
game. I would rather spend those 2 hours playing the game. And with Deck of Wonders, literally, you just need a deck and a small space to play. You can throw it in your pocket, take it anywhere with you. It is a legacy game. It has things that you can unlock and achieve. There's little achievements like on the boss cards, which I'll show you guys in a second.
Not destruction legacy, and I've learned that's very important to tell people, because you say legacy and everyone goes, I don't want to tear up cards. Like,
Sure.
don't make me tear up
Yeah. Yeah.
cards.
That's a big
So none of
difference.
that,
Yep.
no tearing up cards.
One thing that I have found with my prototype copy, which I've been playing a lot, is that a lot of this legacy stuff is very optional. You do not have to. One of the things is every time you beat a boss or something like that, there's the ability to upgrade cards, and you can upgrade cards through a sticker set, which will come with the Kickstarter game once it ships. I don't have that sticker set, and I'm still able to fully play the game with zero issues. I haven't upgraded my cards with that option, and I've still been able to play with no problem. So if you're the type of person who wants to keep their games in the mint condition that they come in, you don't want to throw stickers on your
Yes.
cards, you don't want to tear them up, you don't want to throw them across the room. You don't have to do that with Deck of Wonders, which is really really great.
Let me
Um,
ask you this:
yeah.
if you could pick one minion to give, let's say, +1 health as an example of an upgrade,
Oh,
do you have a thought on who you would give +1 health to?
Just looking at the cards that I have in my hand, it, ugh, I kind of would want to give it to mm, maybe. Oh, I know. Where is he? Hungry Wolf. I think I would want to give plus
Ooh,
one health to Hungry Wolf.
make him a
Hungry Wolf is a
3/2.
beast.
Yeah.
Is a beast of a card, but he dies really, really quick, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
because he only
Mm-hmm.
has one health, giving him an extra health would be crazy good.
That would be
Really, really
excellent.
strong. Um, so for everybody that's watching on stream, I'm going to switch down to my table view here. And we are going to actually play while we continue to talk to Dennis. This is open forum, so if you guys have any questions or anything, you can drop that in the chat. I have it open. Dennis has it open. We can monitor stuff and have a conversation with you. We are going to be
Yeah.
facing against Cullen, the Spoiled Prince. Um, as of right now, at the beginning of the stream here, I'm completely spoiler free. So I'm playing with the 28 cards that comes in Cullen's base villain deck, as well as the 28 cards while trusting the deck of wonders. This is the recommended 28 cards that you get to start with. I call them like the starter cards. They're like your starter cards just to
Mm-hmm.
get you started with the game. I've already given everything a pretty good shuffle. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Cullen, he's this game is you've stolen the deck of wonders from Fate herself, and she has sent out her minions to try and get back what is rightfully hers. One such minion is Cullen, the Spoiled Prince. And one of the achievements on his card is that the first time that you beat him with 10 or more health remaining, you can open a legacy pack. Now, I have done this off screen a bunch of times. I'm kind of a
Ha.
beast. I'm kind of a beast against Cullen with using trusting the deck of wonders here, but
You got it. You've got his number, huh?
yeah, maybe. So if that happens while on stream, we may open Cullen's one of his legacy packs just to
Yeah,
show you guys
we'll give you
how.
plenty of warnings so you
Yep,
won't get
yep.
surprise spoiled. But yeah,
Totally, totally.
it's awesome.
And stick around because we do have an art reveal for you as well, which is really,
Yeah,
really
that's
cool.
exciting. I'm so excited. This piece of art is literally like the second or third work that we did for the game, and then we realized for reasons I won't get into that no one was going to see it. And so a chance to kind of not reveal the card that this is attached to, but reveal the art is very exciting.
Yep.
Also, AJ says in chat he was going to ask if there's a reason to have multiple decks. Like if there was a destruction and you still wanted to have a full set. Obviously, there's not destruction, but even just in the base game, you'll be able to have about 3 decks going at the same time. And you'll be able to use that to play co-op just with the base game. So you can have up to 3 people playing co-op. If for whatever reason you wanted to do co-op where both of you were facing the same villain at the same time, you would need multiple copies of the game. But otherwise, that should have everything you need for a really cool solo experience and everything you need for co-op play as well, with up to 3.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So one of Cullen's, I guess, abilities on his card is well, there's two actually. One is impatient, where both player and villain start their health at 20 instead of 30. So I've set both health trackers at 20. And he also has an ability called Fools. I'll do it myself. If you have to
Mm-hmm.
reshuffle, Cullen gains 2 damage. And then for the rest of the game, he will deal 2 damage to the player every villain turn and 2 damage to any minion that attacks him, which is crazy brutal. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll see. At the start of the game, you shuffle all these cards up. You deal yourself 4. So I'm starting the game here with a Reinforced Dam, Lightning Strike, Forest Troll, which is a beast, and
Mm-hmm.
Pixie Cavalry. So I think that to start off here, I think I'm
And
going
of
to.
note, Lightning Strike is placeholder art. And if you play the tabletop simulator mod now, that art has been updated to the new final art that was revealed through the Kickstarter campaign.
which is gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah,
I love the lightning strike art.
it's my
Um,
favorite sky in the
yeah,
game,
it's
I
really
think.
really good, really good.
But so
Um,
you've got the retro version here.
yep, retro. And I even saw somebody say something about how they actually enjoyed the retro art as well, and I kind of do too.
Yeah.
It's not. You could have easily left that blank there, and but it's appreciated that there is something there. I think it's really cool.
It's got a vibe. It's a very different vibe than Lauren's art, which is
Yeah,
also amazing. But yeah, so you got a hand to play here.
I do. I'm looking at that forest troll. I don't want to discard 2 cards right now. So I
Mm.
think I'm going to start off by playing Pixie Cavalry. When I play a card, it is played exhausted. And I think I'm going to play a reinforced. Yeah, I think I'm going to play a reinforced dam as well, just because I don't want Cullen to get too crazy with
And
board
the first
control.
decision that you kind of made without saying, because I know you're probably already thinking turns ahead. The first decision that the player has to make is, do I mulligan my opening hand or not? So
Very
if you
true.
if you were like, this is crap, I can't work with this, you can one time discard all four and redraw four new ones.
And I actually
Um,
thought about it briefly because
mhm.
Forest Troll is expensive to play at the start, and Lightning Strike probably won't do me any good. It won't do me any good opening turn, especially.
Mm, yeah.
However, I do like Pixie Cavalry and the ability to play 2 creatures in my opening hand so that I kind of establish some board control before Cullen does. Because once I move to Cullen's turn, he's going to get 3 cards, and he could easily pull 3 creatures and establish some early game dominance, which I don't want at all. So
The other synergy that might not be as obvious is Lightning Strike and Reinforced Dam. So, because Reinforced Dam has 0 attack, it will stop minions from killing you, but it will also, any minion that attacks it will survive. So, a lot of the smaller minions that might otherwise die when they attack will survive an attack against Reinforced Dam, meaning that you're more likely to get value out of Lightning Strike.
oh,
Yeah,
see, and I
yeah.
didn't even think about that.
Some
uh,
next level junk right there.
Yeah. All right. So end of my turn, I'm going to unexhaust my creatures, and I'll save these 2 cards for later. And Cullen will start to draw his cards. He gets 3 cards, one at a time. He first gets a poison toad, not good for Louie.
Rutro.
Poison toad is a 1/1, and it says destroy any minion this minion deals damage to. So essentially, he's going to take out at least one thing, which is pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Lightning Strike. Destroy the highest priority player minion. This is awful.
No, reinforced down.
So, of these 2 cards, here in the center top here is our initiative order, our priority order, and I have a 4 and a 2. So 4 is obviously higher than 2, so my reinforced dam goes bye bye.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
interesting. So you use the term initiative order, and I actually went back and forth. Do I say initiative? Do I say priority? Like, what's the right word for it?
sure.
I landed on priority because initiative implies faster, and a lot of the higher priority minions kind of articulate as slower, more beefy creatures. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so that's how I went between those two names.
yeah. I think it's just based on other games that you've played. Like I've played a lot of D&D and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
So
oh yeah.
initiative is a more common phrase. And my last card for Cullen is a Pixie Mesmerite here, or
Okay,
Mesmerist. So
okay,
um,
okay. That's not the worst.
it's not the
You didn't
worst.
get any additional draw, and that's rare, right?
Yeah, this is good. So what happens next is that Cullen will get to attack me. However, the first thing that I get to do is establish my battle lines. So if I had multiple minions on my side, I would now arrange them in priority order, putting my highest priority on the left down to my lowest priority on the right. And again, that's the number indicated up here. And then I get to decide in what order Cullen's minions are going to attack me. And this is very important because the minions will always attack the highest priority thing first, moving down, as long as it can eliminate the creature that it's trying to attack.
Yeah,
Um,
they won't kill themselves without getting anything in return.
right. So if they can't kill it outright between the two of them, then they'll just bypass it completely and attack me. So this is actually a good question for you. So in this case, I obviously would want the pixie mesmerist to attack me first,
Mm-hmm.
because she would get taken out by my pixie cavalry. However, ignoring for a second the poison condition here, these two creatures would not have enough attack to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
will the pixie mesmerist still attack me? Is she smart enough to know that the poison toad will take me out by
Yeah,
attacking?
yeah. She is, and the thing I tried to do is offload you playing mind games for the villain, right? So the only thing the villain cares about is what actually will happen. If the minion on your side would actually end up dead, then it'll attack. If it actually will not end up dead, then it will skip the minion and attack the player. You don't have to worry about whether or not that's smart. You just have to worry about what actually happens when
Nice.
deciding what the villain does.
Good. So, in this case, if I were to leave the battle line as is, the poison toad would attack pixie cavalry, take it out, and that would leave the pixie mesmerist to attack me, deal a damage, and stay on the table. But if I
Mm-hmm.
change the battle line like this and I force the pixie mesmerist to attack me first, it will deal 1 damage to my pixie cavalry, but the pixie cavalry will deal 2 back, which is enough to take it out. And then the poison toad will attack for 1. Normally, again, it wouldn't take out my pixie cavalry, but because of that poison keyword, the damage is done and both creatures are destroyed. Now,
Correct.
because they took each other out, I get to determine who goes on top and who goes on bottom. This is important for cards like um, reincarnates. That's what it's called, right?
Regeneration.
Regeneration. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's important for cards like regeneration because if I were to draw one, I'm going to be able to bring back the creature that's on top of the discard pile. If Cullen draws one, he gets to bring what's back on top. So I have to make a decision if what I want. What's the worst outcome basically that Cullen can do to me? And I don't want him to get
Yeah,
another
yeah.
poison toad, so I'm going to discard Pixie Cavalry on top.
And it's one of those things where, especially if you're thinking across turns, you can get in some real mind games because it's like, okay, if I leave this on top, then Cullen might get a regeneration and pull it. But let's say you're in a desperate situation and maybe there's a regeneration 2 cards down. So do you bet that Cullen will pull something that will not cover up the discard, and then potentially you can draw into regeneration? And
Yep.
this is very much a game about finding those outside chances and taking them.
Yep. Absolutely. Um, all right. So I get to draw another card, and I get a Ent Tree Herd. This is one of my favorite cards in Cullen's deck.
Strong.
When I play him, it does cost me a card, so I do have to discard a card, but I get to draw a card. So he kind of helps pay for himself, and allows me to get cards out of my hand that aren't necessarily useful to me right now. So I'm going to go ahead and play Ent Tree Herd while having to discard a card. So now I have a tough decision to make.
Yeah, what do you get rid of? And
Yeah.
I tried for every card in Deck of Wonders, I tried to make them all good situationally and bad situationally. So for example, in Tree Herd, great stat line. And if you want to cycle the cards out of your hand, then it's even better because it's helping you dig into your deck. However, if you top deck it, or if you have a combo piece that you want to hold on to, it's way tougher because you either can't play it because you don't have other cards, or you're going to have to give up that combo piece you were holding on to.
Yep. What makes me most nervous is I don't want to discard it now and then Cullen be able to get him for free next turn.
Yeah, you do
That's
expose yourself to that if you're not
that's a tough
careful.
call. But I do think that I'm going to risk it and keep my lightning strike for later, discarding the forest troll, and I do get to draw a card because I played the Ent tree herd, and I
If you're
got
drawn to
another
regeneration.
pixie cavalry. Oh, that would have been nice.
Oh, okay, okay. Very cool.
um, hmm. I think I'm going to leave Pixie Cavalry in my hand for now, just so that I do have something to use the Lightning Strike with later. And Cullen doesn't have a board right now, so I'm not in a huge hurry to start playing a bunch of minions. Um, I don't have to outpace him at this point. So,
So you're building up. This is not
building
your
up. Yep.
all-in moment just yet.
Yep. So I'm going to end my turn unexhausting and passing it to Cullen, who is going to get a gnomish servant, which allows him to draw another card. Oh boy, here we go.
And I'm going on
And
the record, by the way, just so I'm not talking behind your back. Chat asked if I thought you were making good choices, and I said so far so good. I think if I was playing, I would have played the cavalry, but that is, I think, more of a stylistic choice
yeah.
than a right or wrong choice.
Well, so for the gnomish servant that I just drew for Cullen, he drew into a gust of wind, which says destroy all player minions with 1 base health. I don't have any minions with 1 base health, so the gust of wind does not hurt me.
You and I have talked about how Gust of Wind is a surprisingly powerful card.
Yes, it is. And for some reason, I have been very fortunate in my playthroughs, both the one I posted on
Fate
YouTube
favors
and
you on
this
that,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, talk about why you think it's powerful, or why you've gotten value out of it, and I think that's a very interesting perspective.
Sure. So, on the players or on the players side, Gust of Wind says destroy all minions with 1 base health. So this affects both Cullen's minions and my minions. Whereas on Cullen's side, it says destroy all player minions with 1 base health. So if it's drawn on Cullen's turn, it only affects the player. It doesn't affect Cullen as well. So there are many cards in Cullen's deck that are 1 base health. So this is it's an opportunity. It's a nice comeback card, especially if you're kind of against the fence. Cullen's got a larger board state than you do. This is a good card to use to try and get you back in back in it. Another thing that's interesting about it is you can, if I've played it correctly in the past, and correct me if I'm wrong, I can attack cards to lower minions' health down and then play this. Oh no, I guess I can't because it's talking about base health.
Destroy with 1 base health, and that's where base health is important.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you make a really good point on a comeback card. I've had turns where like Cullen draws Gnomish Servant into Hungry Wolf, all of which have 1 base health, and I'm like, you dope. I'm gonna completely clean you out because I'm sitting on Gust of Wind.
Yeah.
It's also, I think, a more likely card to whiff on Cullen's side, where there are going to be a lot of turns where you just don't have any 1 health minions on your side, and so the card is irrelevant and it ends Cullen's turn or whatever villain's turn.
Yeah, and we've talked about that too, about possibly changing the text to give him like a conditional text where it says if it doesn't do anything, then it gets to draw a card or something like that. Because there are, I mean, as you just saw, there are going to be times where it's going to do nothing for Cullen at all because you don't have any creatures with base health of 1.
What you do have though is this Gnomish Servant on the other side there.
I do, and because this Gnomish Servant cannot take out my tree, my Ent tree herd, he is going to attack me for 1, and I'm going to lose my first health of the game here. And then he will unexhaust and pass turn to me. And I am really liking the board state that we are in now. So I'm
He's
going to.
not bad. Wouldn't you like it better if you had a pixie cavalry on the board? Just
Well, see
just
now,
saying.
now I just drew an Ent tree herd, and now I have to have something to discard.
Okay. I'll take my foot and put it in my mouth.
Because I
And
do
this is
still
this
want to
is
keep that lightning strike.
that is yeah. See, this is where you can really start to get into head games, and this is a game of delayed gratification. Like being careful about when you pull that trigger, being careful about when you expose yourself to risk pays off. So for you, it's paying off great right here.
Yep. So I'm going to play that Ent tree herd, discarding my pixie cavalry and getting to draw a card. And look at that, a nice regeneration for me.
Nice.
So now the question is, do I play it to get that pixie cavalry, or do I hold on to it? And these are the decisions,
Ah,
and the this is what makes this game so much fun. Is you're constantly forced to make really really interesting, meaningful decisions that can definitely, I mean, I could go all in right now, play the regeneration, get the Pixie
mhm,
Cavalry, and now I'm left with just a lightning strike in my hand with nothing to discard to even use it. I have a nice
mhm.
board state, but Cullen can very easily turn the tide by getting himself a free, I don't know, there's lots of different cool
Lots of
stuff that he
traits that
can
can
do,
happen.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, do
Well, and
I
even if he doesn't swing it all back in one turn, just the fact that you are out of cards exposes you to attrition. And
huge?
the rules of the game are slanted towards the villain. And if you're top decking and just kind of I play one, you play one, the villain's going to win every time.
Yep.
And so these all-in moments are very tantalizing to go after, but it is also dangerous, not just over the one turn, but over multiple turns.
Yep.
The other thing, the sub objective to keep in mind, right? And you've always got sub objectives in mind because of the legacy objectives, is you're kind of going to win or going to try to win with 12 or more health remaining, right?
Yep.
And that would allow you to, if you were playing the full game and what we'll do on the stream, open up the legacy pack associated with that.
Yep.
And so it's almost like, okay, I kind of, maybe I know the right thing to do for if I was just playing the game, just getting the win, but what's the right thing to do for trying to get a win with 12 health?
Right.
What's the right thing to do if I want to play a bunch of forest trolls, or and on and on and on.
Yep. Um, right. So now I have another decision to make. Do I attack this gnomish servant here and take him out so that Cullen is now top decking? Or do I leave him alone and just say, that one damage isn't going to do anything to me right now?
He'll take
Um,
care of himself.
he'll take care of
Yeah.
himself eventually, right?
The other question that factors into that is, do I think whatever I draw off the lightning strike will be better than regeneration, especially given this, I will say board state, but it's also discard state, right? Because if you play that lightning strike, you're discarding regeneration, you're burying the pixie cavalry, which takes options out of your hands, and you're drawing an unknown
Right.
next. And so you could draw a forest troll, and then you've got a forest troll with no other cards. That sucks. You could draw a pixie cavalry, and then it's like, oh hey, moot point. I was going to do that anyway. It's
Yep.
it all entwines together.
So I think for this now, I think we're just going to take the safe route. We're going to hold on to regeneration and lightning strike, and we are going to just use our entry herd to take out this gnomish servant and leave Cullen with nothing but whatever
Mhm.
he's going to draw. So I would unexhaust what I've got here.
And that's an important choice, because you could have attacked Cullen directly and gotten 3 damage in on him, but
Right.
you're kind of focusing on controlling that board first.
And
Oh, hey, friend.
he just drew another gnomish servant.
I imagine it's like Donkey and Shrek. I just watched Shrek with my kids, where he's trying to like grab Donkey. He thinks he's got him, then he turns around and Donkey's in another place. So smacking down these gnomes, they just keep on popping up.
And now for the gnomish servant's draw, he got an earth shield, which is basically it says the first time that minion takes damage, make that damage 0 and discard this card. So he's basically got an attack that's going to keep him alive,
Hmm.
as well as he gets to draw another card. So now this is 3 cards that Cullen has got, and oh no, here comes a poison toad.
Oh no. Okay.
So now we're starting to see,
This is payback for that good opening turn.
right, right, exactly. Um, so let's see here. So the first thing that I have to do is put my cards in priority order. I've already done that because they are the same. And then I've got to establish battle line here. So I want to at least get rid of this Earth Shield here, which will happen because the Gnomish Servant will attack the entry herd. So it's going to do 1 damage to my entry herd, taking it down to 2 health. I would do 3 health or 3 damage back to the Gnomish Servant. However, he does have the shield, so that damage is reduced to 0 and the shield is removed. And then the Poison Toad will swing into the entry herd, killing the entry herd and killing the Poison Toad. So now I have another decision to make. Who do I put on top? Who do I put on bottom? Remembering, of course, that I have a regeneration.
So this is an important choice.
Right.
It's one. Well, you will get the value of what you're putting on top, but even then, it's not clear what the best choice to put on top is. That's really interesting.
Right.
What do you like?
I like. Poison Toad is strong. I don't know. This is tough. I think I'm going to put the entry herd on top.
Go for the stat line.
Yeah, go for the stat line here.
Very cool. I'll point out that we're playing on stream, so you don't want to spend too long agonizing over a given choice. But as a solo game in your own time, man, you could sit there for a half hour and think about what you want to do, and no one's going to yell at you.
That's right. That's absolutely
it's kind
true.
of a nice pressures off situation. Just doesn't apply to this specific instance.
Now I did get a hungry wolf. So a nice combo that I could do here is to discard the hungry wolf to play the lightning strike, killing the gnomish servant, and then I could use the regeneration to bring the hungry wolf back out, and then I would be able to swing at Cullen for 3. However, that would leave me with 0 cards in hand, and that is just not something that I am prepared to do yet.
Okay. Long con here.
Yeah, so what I think I'm going to do is actually use the regeneration to get my... Yeah, I think I'm going to use the regeneration to...
Oh, that I had already forgotten about that. That your regeneration, you have a target in mind for, and if you played a spell if for whatever reason you wanted to make a play before pulling it back out, that would bury the ent.
Yep.
And so order of operations is super important here.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to regenerate the ent tree herd back into my army here. And
I like it.
Then I'm going to attack the gnomish servant with my other ent tree herd. And then I'm going to unexhaust. Still no damage to Cullen, but I am happy with my board state at the moment.
Yeah, you're stable. Now, talk to me about the decision to hang on to the Hungry Wolf. Is that purely for lightning strike? What's going on in your mind there?
Yeah, so not knowing what I'm going to draw and not knowing what I want to keep the lightning strike just in case, and not knowing if what I draw on my next turn is going to be better than the Hungry Wolf. I don't want to play the Hungry Wolf and then need to use the lightning strike and then be forced to have to discard whatever it is that I draw, not knowing what it is that I'm going to draw. So
I think what we're learning in this stream is you are a much more patient player than I am, which is good.
I think it's only because I'm on stream. When I'm actually playing this by myself, I'm like, bam, 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 like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, let's get this game in as quick as possible.
Well, it's one of the things I'm most excited about, and you're already showcasing it, is I'm fine at card games. I hold my own, but I'm also not the best player out there. And the idea of getting Deck of Wonders into the hands of people who are going to see the things I won't, and find the combos that I haven't thought of, or make the big brain plays that are gonna bring them even more wins than I get, is really exciting, because I'm still around. Like, I think I played 5 games on stream the other night, and went 3-2. So I was positive,
Yeah.
but it was close. Whereas I know some people that are like really technical card game players are like, oh yeah, once I figured out this and this, my win rate went up to like 75% or whatever. It's like, okay, I
And I think
respect
it's
that.
going to
I
be I
respect
think
that.
it's going to be interesting too once people get the game in their hands to see like deck builds that people make. Like I'm
Mhm.
I'm not bad at playing card games, but one thing that I'm not good at is I'm not a good deck builder. So one of the
Ah,
things that I like about Deck of Wonders is that you've created those options. If you don't want to,
mm,
do the deck building, you can either just, let the Deck of Wonders take control and use that, kind of that starter deck. But then you also have letting fate decide, where you're literally dealing yourself random cards, which I've done. You can go see that on the
yeah,
YouTube
that was one of
channel.
our plays.
And and it's still a very viable option to win the game. It's not like, you're extremely crippling yourself by doing that. So a player like me, I'm excited to see what people come up with deck build wise, so that I can copy their decks and I can play them and try them out. Because that's,
Gonna nit deck
I'm,
it.
I'm the
Yeah,
first one to
yeah,
be honest. Like when I played Hearthstone back in the day, I was going on forums and I was going on Reddit, like, what is the best warlock build? What is the
hmm
best paladin build? And I was,
Or for me,
I
it's
was
what is the cheapest
right, that too. Well,
warlock
that's
build?
it
How can
now,
I be
right?
viable without spending any money?
Yeah, now that the game has blown up, it's, it's like that. But in the beginning, it was,
Yeah,
everybody had the
yeah.
same cards. So, um,
That's awesome. All right, now
so
you're just stalling for the fact that one of your ents is going to get taken
yeah,
out,
one of
aren't
my
you?
ants is gonna get taken out here.
Oh, bye
Baited
bye.
trap took him out. I'm going to.
Of note, had you played the wolf, even though that exposes you to more risk, you would have had the option to have the wolf get killed instead of your
I
ents.
would have. That's true.
So
Um,
win some, lose some here.
but that's all that Cullen gets to do. I get to draw a card. I drew Guerrilla Tactics. If there are two or more villain minions in play, then draw two. There is none at the moment, so I'm going to keep that for later because that is a really, really good card, really strong.
It's a
Another
powerful
another
card.
good comeback mechanic there, where if you're on the on the losing side, Cullen's got a nice board state, and you did overextend losing cards in your hand, or
Mhm.
using cards in your hand, that's a nice card to be able to give yourself a good draw
Yeah.
and be able to do some stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and play
So
Hungry Wolf finally.
sure. Well, while you're doing that, some fun facts. So Guerrilla Tactics was a late add to the game. For a long time, the game existed, or this deck, the particular pre-made deck, didn't have Guerrilla Tactics in it. And I introduced it to the game as I was looking for a way to remove some of the more obvious win conditions. So one win condition against Cullen is you just go so wide that he can never take care of everything, and kind of win that way. And then a win condition for Cullen was you got to top decking and you could just never come back. Your card draw was too slow. So Guerrilla Tactics is an answer to both of those edge conditions to kind of give a little more viability to both sides to come back. I love, or I, sorry, I feel so navel gazing when I talk about my own cards. But one thing I'm excited about it is a spell that is very mechanically different side to side, but thematically very the same. So the idea of like guerrilla tactics and sneaky ambush style warfare, it makes total sense that you would be suddenly ganging up on someone with the draw two on the player side, and it makes total sense that you would be suddenly like wiping out a force that's gotten too big for its own good on the villain side. And so even though those are both very different things, they thematically come together really well in guerrilla tactics.
Yeah, so if you can't see it, on the player side, which is how I drew it, it says if there are two minions, or if there are two or more villain minions, draw two cards.
Mhm.
But on the villain side, it says if there are four or more player minions in play, then destroy all player minions, draw one. So that is something that you always need to keep in the back of your mind, that this card exists in the deck, so that you are not overextending your board, because you can very easily get caught up with that. It's happened to me several times, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that card was in the deck, and so that might be one of the reasons why I've been playing a little bit slower, focusing on board control and not just getting out as many creatures as I can.
That
But
makes
I
sense.
did play Hungry Wolf here, and I get to finally swing at Cullen for 3, which takes him
There we
down
go.
to 17. And then I will unexhaust and.
And sometimes it can be wise to load up on minions, even though Guerrilla Tactics is in the deck. It might be a calculated risk. Basically, what you're saying is, I think I will either win or I'll get back under 4 on the board before I draw Guerrilla Tactics.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Stinking Poison Toad. This is like the
This is the
third
third
time.
one. Yeah. They were all at the top of
All
the deck
against
there.
me. So he's going to get to take something out. Now, establishing my priority here, both Hungry Wolf and the Entry Herd both have a priority 3, so I can do this number here however I see fit. One is a 3/3, one is a 3/1, so I'm going to go ahead and let the Poison Toad take out my 1/1, just so I get to keep my 3/3 on the board.
I
And
like
then
that.
I'm going to bury the Poison Toad.
So not enough for you to want to draw it out, at least in this board state.
Yeah,
And so you want to make sure Cullen doesn't draw it out.
not yet. I draw into a Reinforced Dam, which is quite nice. Wish I had that out there a minute ago.
Well, and it's really nice to see that now because, as we just said, you've seen 3 poison toads,
Yep.
which are some of the minions that are most effective against the dams. And so you're putting that out there with a high confidence, barring some minions we actually haven't seen yet this game.
Yes.
That's going to survive a turn. I've definitely just jinxed us.
So Cullen goes down to 14 as I get to swing again with my 3/3, unexhausting my Reinforced Dam. I still have the Lightning Strike and the Guerrilla Tactics in my hand. And, oh boy. Cullen gets a Forest Troll. It is
I
a
called it.
5/3. When he comes in play, he destroys another villain minion. There are no other villain minions here. So this is where things start to get a little sticky for
Dun,
me.
dun, dun. Yeah, this is the one minion in this deck, apart from the Poison Toad, that can one-shot a Reinforced Dam.
Yep.
So you can imagine a giant forest troll just crashing through the dam, all the water flooding around it.
And this is currently, of all the art in the game, this is currently my favorite art. We obviously haven't seen everything, but I love how, how calm and peaceful the player side Forest Troll looks. And then you flip him over, and not only is he mean and nasty, but now he's gone from like this spring, summer green color to this, leaves are changing, brownish.
Yeah,
The art is just
autumn
really,
colors.
really great.
Lauren did an amazing job with this. Yeah, it's one of those things you see the player side and you're like, oh, that's pretty regal. That looks like a minion I would not want to piss off. And then you turn it over, you're like, okay, that's definitely a minion I don't want to piss off.
Absolutely. So this Forest Troll is going to take out my Reinforced Dam. It has a priority of 4. And now I have some big, big decisions to make. A lot will depend on what it is I draw, I think.
Yeah. Now that Reinforced Dam does 0 damage back, meaning that you don't lose, or excuse me, Cullen doesn't lose the Forest Troll. Whereas, if it was just the Ent out there, you would have at least traded. But now the Forest Troll, well, we'll see what happens. The Forest Troll might go 2 for 1. Although this is a really interesting regeneration right here. That is a tough. Well, my mind is going. I'd love to hear what's on your mind right now, and then I can talk through.
My mind is I want a free Forest Troll. That's what's on my mind.
Okay, you saw something different than I did. Okay, that makes a ton of sense. What I was thinking is if you stall for a turn,
Yep.
you might be able to get value out of Guerrilla Tactics. So you were looking at the Forest Troll. I was looking at Guerrilla Tactics.
Yeah.
If you regenerate the dam, the that is likely to catch the forest troll again and have another minion out, maybe, which allows you to get the guerrilla tactics. You're looking at it. You're thinking in terms of, hey, I'll sacrifice maybe the Ent tree herd now for the value of getting the forest troll through regeneration. So
Yeah,
very interesting. Like there's
hoping
two
that
very
Cullen
different.
doesn't draw another lightning strike.
Well, there's that. There's
Right.
always that.
So this
This is
is yeah,
yeah,
this
two
is
very different paths forward.
right. So I think because I am trying to get to beating Cullen with a high health, what makes me nervous is I could regenerate the reinforced dam, ignore the forest troll, swing at Cullen for 3. The forest troll eats the reinforced dam. Maybe he draws another minion. Hopefully, he draws another minion. And then I can guerrilla tactics, draw some cards. Then I could swing at the forest troll with the Ent tree herd, but not knowing what he's going to draw.
That's a lot of ifs.
That's a lot of
all
ifs.
in a row.
But I could also, throw my Ent tree herd at the forest troll, spend the regeneration to get the forest troll on my board, and then Cullen draws a lightning strike, and then we have a wash board, and I'm up a creek.
Yeah.
So it's a tough call.
The other question is, what is most likely to preserve your health?
True.
I'm not sure on either side of that. What would be better?
Yeah, because the forest troll swings for 5, which is a big chunk of health.
Not great. On the other side, if something were to take, if you brought back the reinforced dam and then something took out your Ent, say like a baited trap, that puts you in a really difficult situation, because then you know you're going to lose the dam and you don't have anything to follow it up with, and then you're staring down not just losing health but possibly throwing away a lead.
True.
So yeah, there's
But
a lot of different things
to that is if I bring the reinforced, you know what, we'll play it out like that. We'll play the regeneration to bring the reinforced dam back. We'll ignore the forest troll for now, and we'll just swing at Cullen for 3.
Bold move.
Puts him at 11. My train of thought here is that even if he does get a baited trap, which yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think we've seen one or two.
We've only seen one, so
in pre-made, yeah. Oh, only one. Okay.
And look at that.
I'm waiting for my video to catch up. Oh no!
There's the baited
That's literally
trap.
the worst case scenario. That's 2 in a row worst case scenario cards that
Not good. Not
we've summoned
good.
through talking about them.
So baited trap says destroy the lowest priority player minion. So it's opposite the lightning strike, which will kill the Ent tree herd. And then the forest troll will then swing at the reinforced dam, taking it out.
How
So this
tables have
turned. That's an Office reference.
Yes.
And not for nothing, but we're about 50% through the deck here. So keep in mind that if we do have to reshuffle the deck, Cullen starts to get a little nastier. So
And it's so interesting because now you think about the sub objectives versus the main objective. Obviously, you want to win, and the best way to win might be to take a couple shots from the forest troll while you build up a line of defense in your hand. However, in order to maximize your chances of winning with 12 plus health, you kind of need to make sure that forest troll doesn't get shots in, because you've only got one of those before you're on the brink. So I saw you pulled Poison Toad.
Yep. And now again, a decision to make. Do I hold on to, do I play nothing, hoping that Cullen gets another minion so that I can play guerrilla tactics? Or do I not want to eat that 5 health, play my Poison Toad, and make sure that that forest troll dies at the hands of my Poison Toad? But if I play Poison Toad, I do have to discard a card in order to play him. So now I'm having to give something up.
And because you know your poison toad is going to kill something, you lessen the chance that you'll be able to get value out of your guerrilla tactics. And I want to say, I fall into this trap all the time, or at least it feels like a trap to me, where there's a forest troll on the board and I have a guerrilla tactics in hand, and I try to get cutesy with how I, manage that to get draw, and it never works out in my
Yep.
favor. Like there's
Well, you know
always
what? I
something
think we're going to
unexpected.
get cutesy because I'm not going to play anything and I'm going to see
Oh
what
boy.
happens.
All right. All right. Oh,
I've only taken
I'm
one
nervous.
damage, so I'm still okay at this point.
Mm-hmm,
Cullen
mm-hmm.
is at 11 and I am at 19. So let's see what Cullen gets. I'm going to pass turn to him, and he gets a Pixie Cavalry. This is exactly where I wanted to be. Well, not exactly,
Okay.
but it's better than
Of what could have been
of what
drawn.
could have been drawn. Yep.
Yeah.
But this is a lot of damage, right? So he's going to swing at me now for 7 damage,
Ouch.
which puts me from 19 down to 12.
So you're on the brink. Well,
So I am on
you've
the
got
brink.
half your health left, but you're on the brink in terms of the sub objective.
Yep. So this passes over to me. I get to draw a card. I am in a good hand state now. So I have 4 cards in hand: an Entry Herd, Poison Toad, Lightning Strike, and Guerrilla Tactics. I get to play
Mm-hmm.
Guerrilla Tactics right now, which says if there are 2 or more villain minions, which there are in play, draw 2 cards. So I get 2 extra cards, which is what we wanted. I
Mm-hmm.
draw a Regeneration. Excellent.
Now
And
we're eyeing
a
that troll.
now we're
Now we're
eyeing the
eyeing that
troll.
troll.
Yep. And a Pixie
Hmm.
Mesmerist. Um, hmm.
More cards equals more options, but it also equals harder choices.
Yes, it does. Um, the only way that I can take the Forest Troll out. Um, so I could play the Pixie Mesmerist and the Poison Toad.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then set my battle line to have the Pixie Cavalry take out the Mesmerist, which would not take out the Pixie Cavalry, and
Mm-hmm.
then have the Forest Troll attack the Poison Toad, killing the Poison Toad but killing itself, and then allowing me to
Mm-hmm.
use a regeneration. But then I'm out 3 cards in order to do
Yeah,
that.
that's a high price. And Tree Herd, it will get you a 2-for-1 if you rearrange the villain minions, because if you force Pixie Cavalry to attack first, that won't finish the job, but the
Oh,
troll
that's
will.
true. I don't even have to use Poison Toad.
Yeah, the
Good
danger
point.
the danger there is if Cullen draws something to remove the Ant Tree Herd, you could just straight up take another 7. So
Yeah.
it's
Ugh.
tough. Yeah. And it's like, yeah. Um
Hmm.
I wonder. Yeah, it's like the playing the mesmerist alongside either the toad or the tree herd feels strong because that gives you a backup plan. Worst case scenario, let's say he pulls gust of wind and completely whiffs, you can always have the pixie kill the mesmerist, sorry, the cavalry kill the mesmerist, and the troll kill the ent, and
Right.
then you can get your regeneration play. But again, that's we were talking in the chat, right? Cutesy guys finished last.
Yeah.
Sliver said getting cutesy never works for him either, and I think that's very true. So
It didn't for
it's
me in that
it's a
last turn for
gambit.
sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're gonna want that turn back. But
Um,
huh?
well, we could. I think no matter what, I think we want to play Entry Herd here.
Hmm.
And
Okay,
it is going to draw me a card, so we could always change our mind what it is that we're going to use here.
that's
So I
true.
think I'm going to finally get rid of the Lightning Strike to play the Entry Herd here and draw a card.
That's been in your hand since the start of the game,
It has. And I
waiting for
drew an
value that never came.
Earth Shield. Hmm. Hmm.
Well, huh?
That changes things.
I was gonna say that could get a lot of value on the end.
Um, yeah, I think I still play the Pixie Mesmerist, and then I put the or not the regeneration. I put the Earth Shield on the Ent Tree Herd. Um,
Okay.
and or maybe I don't play the Pixie Mesmerist because
Yeah, the Ent will take 2 shots to take out now.
But I just don't want him to draw a lightning strike or a baited trap.
Watch if he draws Poison Toad. I think it's like the last Poison Toad. If he draws Poison Toad next turn, that's where you're gonna be like, I want the lightning strike back.
I think I am going to play the Pixie Mesmerist just in case we do get we get a lightning strike situation.
Okay, I like it.
And see what happens. So unexhaust
I mean,
everything.
the last 2 times we've talked about a card we really don't want to see, we've summoned it. Both with what was it with the troll, and then with the baited trap. So I would be surprised if you didn't. Oh well, huh? Interesting. This is a puzzle. Because in this situation, there are a lot of ways this could play out where the Ent does not die and you take more damage to face, which might be the right thing to get the win, but I'm trying to like puzzle through if there's a way to make sure that you don't lose any more health. But I also, the focusing on that so much that you lose, all of your minions on the board is also tough. So, As I'm thinking about it now, and now that I'm seeing this puzzle in front of me, I almost like Pixie Mesmerist was one of the cards I would not want to have had drawn in that situation.
Yeah.
It's like give me another forest troll or something. Come on, anything but a Mesmerist.
And I almost wish that I hadn't played her, right? Because if I hadn't played her, this would be a much easier decision.
You'd have gone 3 for 1 with the Ent. Yeah. It's that's tough. And this is where as a solo game, you could always kind of fudge it a little bit and be like, maybe I didn't play it last turn and take it back. But
yeah. Good questions. Because if I do this,
You've heard it here from the designer of the game. It is fine to cheat if you want. It's a solo game. Chase your bliss.
If I do that,
is that sacrilege? I feel like that's sacrilege.
No.
I think your chat will commit mutiny if you fudge here. So that if you do it that way, then to attack the Pixie Mesmerist, the troll would skip the Ent and attack you directly. You would lose 5 health. No one on the villain side would die. You would lose the Pixie Mesmerist.
Because the forest troll will ignore this because of the shield?
Correct. Yeah, because the Ent won't wind up dead, it attacks you directly. I almost wonder if you go the opposite direction, have the troll take out the pixie, which then it's overkilling it by 4 health. So you're wasting a lot of health there.
Yeah.
Then the mesmerist
then these two will die to this.
Well, they won't. You can't combine them in a way that would take off the shield and kill the Ent. So they would skip it and deal 3 damage, but then you're taking 3 damage to face instead of 5. Same result, I think, where all the villain minions are going to live. Yeah. Go fudge yourself. That's not very kind. The other way I could see it playing out is if we're going through like literally every possible permutation here. If you put the Pixie Cavalry first, then that will take out the Pixie Mesmerist alone. And then have the Pixie Mesmerist go second. That will take out the shield, and the Forest Troll go third. That will take out the Ent. Then the Ent goes 2 for 1, destroying the Mesmerist and the Troll. You lose everything on your side, and the villain still has Pixie Cavalry.
But so I have a regeneration to bring back the Forest Troll.
You do.
Yeah, but then I end up in the same situation where don't know if he's going to pull a baited trap or a lightning strike because there have not been
Yeah.
too many of those drawn yet this
No, we
game.
haven't we haven't seen very many lightning strikes.
So
Oh man.
that's the tough call here.
I talked about how Cullen doesn't tend to swing things all in one turn, but it's just how
He
do we
has
how do
his
we end up in
moments.
this
He
situation?
has his moments.
He
And it could
does.
be that I didn't, I could have overextended early to try and get lots of board control. Um,
Yeah. I mean,
so
there's always a chance, if you were hyper aggressive, the game could be over by this point. You don't have to
sure.
worry about it. But
Yep.
that's always so risky. I'm I'm looking back on the decision to play the Pixie Mesmerist on your side,
Right.
because I think if you didn't have the Pixie Mesmerist out, this gets really easy. You go 3 for 1. It's fantastic.
Yep.
But that the presence of that Pixie Mesmerist just throws a wrench in everything. Whereas, but there are so many other cards he could have drawn that the Pixie Mesmerist would have been perfect for. So it's a complete tug of war. We just got an unlucky draw on that.
Yeah. So I think we're going to just see what happens here. I think we're going to go Pixie Cavalry into Pixie Mesmerist, killing
Okay.
Pixie Mesmerist. The Pixie Mesmerist into End Tree Herd, which takes out the shield and the Pixie Mesmerist. And
Mm-hmm.
then the Forest Troll into the End Tree Herd, which takes out both of them. And
Forest Troll on
then,
top.
yep. And then we will play the Regeneration into Forest Troll.
Well, we
And
draw a card first. That's always nice. So we'll
what did we draw a card from?
start your turn.
Oh, did I not do that?
Yeah, that was the villain's turn that just ended right there. So you get to start your turn by drawing a card.
Oh, that was the villain's turn. All right,
Yeah,
let's.
a lot of Deck of Wonders is played on defense because you
Yeah,
have
you're right.
agency over the villain. You get a little more
So yeah,
gas in the tank
before I
there. So
play
there.
Regeneration, let's see what I draw. So I drew an Earth
Yeah.
Shield.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So now I will play Regeneration to bring the Forest Troll back. And
I still like that play. And the question is, do you put the shield on it, knowing that there are those lightning strikes waiting for you?
right, I think we wait.
All right, all right.
um, or we could finally go all in and see what happens by discarding the Earth Shield, playing the Poison Toad, and
Oh, interesting.
and
And
seeing
you
what
got two
happens.
minions. Yeah, that at least protects you from a baited trap. Yeah, interesting. No easy answers here. My hope in the design is that you always feel like you're one card shy of the easy answer,
Yep.
which has definitely felt like the case this game.
Yeah. I think I'm going to pass and let's see what he gets. So he got a Guerrilla
I'm nervous.
Tactics.
Okay, well, you got that plus something.
So he gets to draw a card because that doesn't do anything.
Okay.
And he draws a baited trap. Oh
Oh
no.
no! Oh no!
So I'm going to bury the. There's been 2 or 3 regenerations,
Yeah, I think 3.
and there's 4 in the deck, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the pre-made decks are all 4 ofs. If you're custom making your deck, you can have any number that you want, but just to keep things simple and to keep things predictable because it makes it easier to card count. The pre-made decks are all 4 ofs.
All right, I'm going to leave the Forest Troll on top and see what happens.
Okay.
Pixie Cavalry will swing at me for 2, so I'm down to 10.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. And then I get to draw a card, and I got a Guerrilla Tactics. All right. So I don't want to play Poison Toad because, I mean, at this point, I don't think I'm going to make the 10 health.
Yeah.
So I think I could play the
Now you're
Poison
playing for
Toad,
the
but
win.
then, yeah, I could play the Poison Toad. However, then I won't
I
be
think
able
you
to use
need
Guerrilla Tactics.
you need the swing turn here. So I think playing for the swing turn and waiting makes sense.
Yeah, I just don't want his. I don't want him to. Well, I guess if he got a Forest Troll, then he would have to destroy Pixie Cavalry. So,
Yeah.
all right, I'm passing to him.
That's right.
And-
We've only seen one forest troll. Man, that one Yeah, one forest troll has caused a ton of mayhem.
So he drew a
Oh,
lightning strike. I
that's a
had
great
nothing,
draw for you.
so that's good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Pixie Cavalry will attack me for 2, which puts me at 8.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I will get to go, giving me
Yost
reinforced
the
dam.
Ghost is in favor of gorillas.
So I got a reinforced dam, which is
Mm-hmm.
good right now, I think.
Mm-hmm. That'll make it more likely that you get value out of guerrilla tactics. It's weird. Do you put it out there now, or do you just wait and use it to cover for other minions? And this is the same trap that I fall into with Forest Troll that we talked about later. It's less urgent when it's the Pixie Cavalry, but the surely I'll have another minion on board for the villain next turn
Sure,
uh, turns into a lot of damage over a couple of turns.
sure. I mean, playing it right now isn't going to do me any good anyway because the Pixie
Yeah.
Cavalry would just ignore it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think I pass and see what Cullen gets.
Mm-hmm.
And he got a second Pixie Cavalry. So now he's swinging at me for 4.
It's not a ton of damage every turn, but obviously now that you're down to half health, that adds up. And the thing about Pixie Cavalries is that 3 health can be so hard to get off the board.
Right. Well, I mean, as far as this particular deck, the way that we've constructed this deck is aside from the reinforced dam, 3 is the highest health character or highest health minion in the game that does damage. So, yeah, 3 is tough to get rid of.
Pixies riding corgis. They
Yeah.
don't mess with them.
I drew a second Guerrilla Tactics.
Oh,
So I have
man.
2 Guerrilla Tactics in my
Is that
hand now.
exhibit on the screen there? Hey, dog, I heard you like Guerrilla Tactics, so I drew you Guerrilla Tactics to go with your Guerrilla Tactics.
So I'll play 1 to draw 2.
Draw, yeah. We're gonna
Hungry
draw a
Wolf.
crap ton of cards.
Hungry Wolf. And then I will play the second one to draw 2 more. Gnomish Servant and a Forest Troll. All right.
Okay.
So now I have some big
And you're at the
decisions
point now
to
where
make.
you have so many cards that playing a Forest Troll outright might not be the worst thing.
Right.
Yost says, more gorillas!
So I think I'm going to play the Gnomish Servant first just to get
Yeah, free
another
draw.
card. Gust
Free
of
draw is
Wind.
nice. Not helpful, but probably discard fodder that you don't feel bad about losing.
Right. Let's see, what can I do here? He has a 1 priority. They have 3. I definitely think I need to play my reinforced dam now to eat up attacks from those 2 Pixie Cavalries. And then I think I play... Man, it's tough. Do I go? I'm so nervous about going all in here. Well, I definitely don't. I don't want to go above 3. That's for sure. Because we've only
Well,
had
how many have we seen?
1.
Because you played 2 that turn. And
Oh,
then we
no,
saw
I
at
guess
least
that's
one
true. We saw
beforehand.
1 other one, so there may be 1 left,
One or yeah, either 1 or 0.
or 0. That's true.
It was ages ago. Who can
It was a
remember?
long time ago. I am gonna pay full price for that Forest Troll. I'll discard Gust of Wind and one of the Hungry Wolves, I think.
Okay.
Yep. Because I kind of want to keep my Earth Shield for now.
What about the Poison Toad? So you want to keep the Poison Toad in your hand?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep the Poison Toad for now. Maybe I do want to play it. No, I think I'm gonna keep it for now. Again, because I don't know if I played 3 or 4 of that of Guerrilla Tactics. So
Okay. I am thinking through what I might have done. And I like again, this is all play style. This is all I won't say it's the right decision. What I might have done is discarded the Poison Toad. The reason being that is a great tool for fighting through reinforced dams, and I don't think you're going to have to deal with many more reinforced dams. Watch you draw a reinforced dam right now, but we'll see.
No, I drew a Gust of Wind, so I will lose my Gnomish Servant, which I'm not terribly upset about.
Yeah. Good thing you didn't load up on the wolves, because a potential play that turn would have been playing both of the hungry wolves.
which I thought about.
Yeah, you would have gotten screwed. So
Yeah.
dodged that one.
Um, so now I've got two pixie cavalries coming at my reinforced dam, which take it out. Um, and then I will get to draw a card. We're getting awfully low on cards, and there's another hungry wolf.
Okay, they were all hiding out at the bottom, running in a
Yes,
pack
they
though.
were.
So now we saw the gust of wind, right? And I don't know how many other ones we've seen. By the way, I have it written in the rules that you're allowed to go through the discard anytime. So if you're not great at counting cards, that's fine. You can use the discard to help.
Well,
you
then let's take a look.
Yeah, how many gusts of wind have we seen?
Two.
Regardless, I think it's lower probability that we see another. I think there's probably only like one left.
So I've used three. There's been three so far.
You feel better about loading up on Hungry Wolves now than you did last turn.
And all 4 guerrilla tactics have been used. So.
Oh, okay. Then it's go time.
But man, if that gust of wind is the thing that comes out, oof.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
How many cards are left in the draw?
10.
10. It's a 1 in 10 chance. It'll never happen.
It'll never happen.
Win on top.
So now I have to think about the board state. I can't take 4 damage next turn from these pixie cavalries, so I'm going to have to take stuff out.
Best case scenario.
I mean, this could be all in now.
Yeah, you're getting close to that point. You could trade the pixie cavalries into the forest troll. You just want to make sure you've got the follow-up damage for that.
Right.
Which would mean, well, interestingly, oh man, this is so. I'm going in 1,000 different directions right now. So I'm thinking about what to play. I'm also thinking about what do you do with the forest troll? Because if you use the forest troll to manage the board, you get a better chance of stabilizing and staying in the lead. The problem is, as you said, we're getting low in the deck. You're getting low on health. How much more can you worry about stabilization and playing conservatively before you just need to step on the gas?
Yeah. And I think it's getting to the point now where I think we need to start stepping on the gas because of how low my health is. And he's still sitting at 11. So I need to be able to, like you said, have some follow-up damage here. So I could easily play... I mean, I could trade.
So if you go face with the forest troll, that puts him at 6, right? And then if 2 hungry wolves survive next turn, that's lethal. So you are 1 turn off lethal, I think. You need to get lucky, but you are 1 turn off lethal. I don't know what they would draw that would put you there, because it would need to whiff.
Well, so if I play both hungry wolves and swing at face, and then he draws the last gust of wind, I lose both of my wolves and I lose my forest troll. But the board state is blank at that point. But I've got nothing to give into him. You know what I mean?
What if you play both hungry wolves and shield the forest troll? Then if he draws another minion, you can probably engineer it so they take out the forest troll without taking out the wolves. If it's a lightning strike, you're screwed.
So you're saying put the earth shield on the forest troll?
I'm saying I don't know. I can't watch. I can't. It's too. I think that would be my play. Is two wolves down, earth shield on the troll, and hope for a mesmerist. Hope for an ent would be fine. Any minion that's not going to draw more minions. So not a Noma servant. But the
problem with the earth shield on the forest troll is though. The cavalry would ignore the forest troll, right? And they would swing at the wolves.
Yeah, so that's based on the assumption that the cavalry is going, or that you're going to draw another damage-dealing minion. Yeah. Or even if they drew a reinforced dam, a reinforced dam can be enough to remove the shield. But yeah,
that's true because it's still.
We've seen how many lightning strikes? Just the one?
Let's see. Let's take a look. No, I think we've had more than one. I think we've had, let's see, one, two,
Okay, we've seen 2. But I mean, still 2 out of those 10. A
two
1 in 5
lightning
chance.
strike. No, 3 lightning strikes and 3
Okay.
baited traps.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So we
I'm
have
sure.
at least a
Oh.
baited trap, at least a lightning strike, and at least a gust of wind sitting in those 10
Oh
cards.
man, it's a 1 in 3
It's
chance of
just
just
too
getting
much.
obliterated. I mean, flipped on the other way, we've got a 2/3 chance of having something pretty good. I'm sure there's something I'm not thinking of, but I think that would be my play, is the Hungry Wolves and the Earth Shield on the Troll.
Let's see what happens.
And this is where you can yell at me. It's now my fault if we lose.
So we are going to swing at Cullen for 5 to the face.
Yeah, and that puts us
him
1
at
turn off a
6.
lethal.
Yep.
Actually, you would love no, you would not love a baited trap, because then Cullen would kill you. So you need the Forest Troll to die. Maybe that shield was an overstep. I don't know.
Here we go. Gnomish Servant.
Okay.
Pixie
I'm
Mesmerist.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Okay.
All 4 of them have to go into the Forest Troll, right? No.
Well, the first attack will be blocked. So let's say we just play it in the order that you've got. First attack is blocked. Second is 2 damage. Third is 3, or is +1 for 3 total. That kills the Forest Troll. So those 3 attack, and then the Mesmerist would attack the Hungry Wolf, and you'd be left with 1 Hungry Wolf on board. I think the other way you could do it is a 1 health minion attacks first. No. Yeah, I think there's a couple different ways you could slice it, but I think what's going to wind up happening is
I'm only going to have 1 Hungry Wolf left.
Yeah. Oh, this is like the crazy third route. It was either we lose or we get lethal, and now it's this like third way of, well, no, you're gonna be in the middle lands here. Oh man.
Let's see.
We're down to the wire here.
1.
Yeah, I do think.
Or. I mean, the other play too is, to go like this.
Oh, I'm waiting for the video to see
Sorry.
what this is.
Man, so put the Hungry Wolves first.
Oh, right.
Each cavalry exchanges here, right? And these 2 swing at me for 2. But I can swing. But when I swing at him, it'll put him at 1 health, and it'll put me at 2 health, which is not enough to kill him. And then I have to do something with.
Yeah, you just need to get a minion down and trade away the Forest Troll. Okay.
And I have a poison toad in my hand.
That would be, and that's 1 damage. 1 damage will win you the game there.
Right.
Plus, this is the villain's turn right now, so you will draw something else to work with.
Yep.
Which, man, it'd be nice to see like a Pixie Cavalry in your hand or something like that. Okay.
Or a Lightning Strike to take care of this Pixie Mesmerist too.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to have this Pixie Cavalry.
That was nowhere on my radar. I never in a million years would have thought of that.
This Pixie Cavalry swing into that.
This is the 200 IQ plays you come to see, man.
And
this is ridiculous.
2 health down to me, so I have 2 health left. And my Forest Troll with my Earth Shield is still alive.
Oh, my stomach is in knots right now.
and let's see what I draw.
Oh, man.
I drew an Earth Shield, which is not great.
Oh, a giant FU from Fate. Because you've already got your 1 minion shielded. I mean, you can use it to pay for the poison toad.
Which is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And then I'm going to swing at Cullen for 5.
If the poison toad is what lets you limp across the finish line, I'm going to lose my shit. Sorry, pardon the French. This is ridiculous.
Well, I think I pretty much, There's nothing. I think that's it though, right? Because
It's what you need to happen.
no, I mean I think that he because when he attacks me, he's going to ignore. Oh, I guess I'd still only have I'd still have
Yeah.
1 health left.
So what you need to happen on this next draw is you need to draw something that causes all of Cullen's minions to trade into the forest troll, and there's a lot of draws that could do that for you. Uh, yeah, merde. In the French. Let's see what we get.
Like a reinforced dam.
That'll
That won't do it.
no. Oh no, that is literally like one of the one cards that wouldn't be okay for you, because anything that deals 1 point of damage or more, no, 2 points of damage or more, you'd have had the win. Ah, is there?
But I'm still okay, right? I'm not dead.
Are you? Well,
I have 2 health.
two, but you're gonna take two from one from the Gnomish Servant, one from the Pixie Mesmerist. Yeah, yeah.
So if they can't attack this,
oh man, yeah. If they so they for
they
you
ignore
to not
everything.
take damage, exactly. For you to not take damage to face, you need to find a way for that forest troll to die. And unfortunately, I don't think it's on the board for you. I think Cullen's gonna sneak by.
I think you're right.
Wow.
By literally 1.
1 point of health. What a game. Oh my gosh.
That's the first time that I've lost to Cullen, and I can't even I can't even tell you how many games. Like probably like 20 games. That is like the first time.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. With 1 point left. Now here's the question. Let's rewind. I mean, first you got to rewind to the turn where you played the extra Pixie Mesmerist and it wound up biting you, right?
Right.
Do that differently, completely different game. Then let's rewind to the turn where you had him take out your 2 wolves instead of your forest troll. I think that changed things as well.
Yeah.
Because I think if you oh man, now there's so many ways things could have gone different. If you had used your forest troll with the shield to take out one of the pixie cavalry on your turn, that might have changed things in your favor as well, because that would have taken the shield off the forest troll. That would have you still would have been able to trade away one of the wolves, but then you would have had a forest troll and a wolf left on board, which would have been 9 damage, taking him down to, God knows, that would have been 3 that turn, and then you would have a chance to win with the wolf on the turn after that.
Yep.
Whoa.
That's
wow,
crazy.
what a game. Well played. Well played.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
that's Deck of Wonders, folks.
And that's what I love about the game, is that every decision that you make is meaningful. I saw a few people, early on in the Kickstarter that were concerned about meaningful decisions. They looked at stuff and they're like, oh, it just seems like after the initial turn, it's just flipping cards and stuff like that. Sure, it is flipping cards, but you're flipping cards and you're needing to make decisions that are going to impact things 20 turns down the line. Like you just explained, we went back to very early decisions in the game that completely, had we done them differently, the outcome could have been completely different. You just never know.
Hindsight is always 20/20.
Sure.
Yeah, that was super interesting and super like technical turns. Lots of card counting in that one.
Yep.
I mean, literally 1 health off of
1 health off.
There. Good Lord, what a game! What a game! Well played.
So what I want to do now?
Says, deck of punch to the nads. Yeah.
Oh man. So what I want to do now is, I'd like to, with your permission, I'd like to go into our little art reveal.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And
as if that wasn't cool enough right there. We're gonna reveal a new. Well, it's funny. I put it out there and I said it was a piece of art that we did and hadn't revealed. And I told a bunch of people who were reviewing the game, like, hey, here's a piece of art. If you want to talk about it, I haven't talked about it yet. If you want to talk about it, go ahead. And I think this is the first time that we're going to have someone talk about it. So uh, yeah, this will be a world premiere, I
Yeah.
believe.
So, I'm not going to tell you where it comes from. We're not going to talk about the card text or anything like that. We're just going to talk about the art. And this is one of the legacy cards. So this is a card that will be unlocked once you do something. And
Ah,
I'm just going to leave it at that. But I'm going to show the art up on screen, and why don't you talk us through it? This is Troll Nest, I believe, right?
yeah, here we go. So once that comes up on screen, I should probably be looking at the window where I can see it. You know how that works. There it is. Yeah, this is Troll Nest, and we've talked about how everyone seems to love the trolls, and so here you go, more trolls, which is super exciting. And let's talk about the lore of the trolls and what you're seeing happen in this image. First off, more baby trolls, and if you didn't notice before, there's a baby troll in the very first card, which is super cool. But everyone in the world of Deck of Wonders seems to think of trolls as these like mindless, vicious beasts, these brutes. And yeah, it's kind of true. They are pretty big and burly. But really, they just don't like outsiders. They're very reclusive. They don't want to be bothered. Live and let live. And if you were able to observe a troll colony, and they didn't know you were watching, you'd actually see a very loving communal society. Like these are not monsters. These are very cool creatures. These are creatures, it's basically an element of nature that's gained consciousness. And so they've got that very kind of zen, connected aspect to them. It's just that, humans don't get to see it because if you're seeing a troll and the troll sees you, you're getting charged at. So this is
Yeah.
a peek into their world that you might never be able to see. Or if you're this close to a troll and they haven't noticed you yet, you better not move until they're gone. But yeah, so this is Trollness. This is a look at at kind of their society away from prying eyes. And in the world, this would be a very rare sight indeed.
Very, very cool. So, for everybody that is watching this either on stream or once I get this up on the YouTube channel, interested to hear what where you guys think this may fall in the deck of legacy packs. There's a bunch of different legacy packs, different achievements.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think that this unlocks from? What do you think you need to do in order to unlock it?
Ah,
Is it helpful to the villains? Is it helpful to the hero, to the player? Curious to know what you guys think. I think that the art is awesome. Like I said, the forest troll art is my favorite, and here we get to see those forest trolls, like you said, in their natural habitat. So this is just, and I like the
there's
idea Yost said for
yeah.
a playmat. That sounds really, really cool.
Chat wants this to be the playmat, and all I'm going to say is I'm not opposed.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
I like the suggestion, and it's funny. This art has been off my radar because I knew it was a legacy art.
Right.
I knew it wasn't going to be revealed at the start of the game, but sharing it outside of context of the card, it makes a ton of sense. And what cooler place to have the art outside the context of the card than the playmat?
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's I hear your idea. I like the idea. Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, what a cool opportunity. First off, you can't plan a game like that. Like, my goodness. I'm sorry you had to break your winning streak.
It's all
But what a
good.
what a game. What a game. And what a cool opportunity to reveal the art as a consolation prize for your loss.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all right, Cullen. I'll
you
get
guys
you back eventually.
you guys can talk smack to him for the rest of eternity. Oh sure, yeah, whenever you're off stream you win. Sure, sure, sure.
Really like the very first. So I opened the game and I took everything out of the box and you very nicely packaged everything in these little rubber band card packs, and it's like, this is legacy pack for this, and you look at Cullen's card and you're like, okay, what do I need to do? And I had already seen a couple of a couple of other reviewers that got their copy like a day or two before I got mine, and they posted pictures, and they were like, oh, Cullen got me by this much, or I just barely beat Cullen by this much. So I was like, all right, this guy must be pretty difficult. Sat down, played my first game, and he didn't, literally, very first game that I played, he didn't deal 1 damage to me. And I was like,
Nice.
maybe I did not play this right. So I went back, I read the rules, make sure that I, got it right. And then,
Yeah.
and of course, if you beat Cullen, you get to unlock one of his packs. And, no spoilers because I didn't actually beat him, but I will tell you that in that first pack that you unlock by beating him with 10 or more health, he gets harder. He gets more difficult to play against. And so I was like, this is only adding X amount of cards. This can't be that bad. Let me tell you, it is nasty when that happens. Okay, guys. So
He's a right bastard.
he came back after me with a vengeance for beating him without taking any health away. So yeah.
Here's a funny thought. So that is a card that makes the game harder for you. However, there is eventually a build you can do where you want that card in your deck, and that's all I'm going to say right now, because there's so many like legacy combos upon legacy combos that are behind that thought. But I was very intentional. I never wanted to have a card in the game that was straight bad for you. That's against the theme. The Deck of Wonders is unpredictable. You never quite know what's going to show up, but you can always find a way to work it to your advantage. And so
Interesting.
even with the legacy cards that make you like, crap, now I got to deal with this. There are worlds where they can be useful.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Interesting. Well, I don't want to take any more of your time. I really appreciate you joining me here on stream today.
This is wonderful. Thank you for hosting.
If you missed the beginning of our live stream, this is Deck of Wonders. We have Dennis Furia here with us. He is the creator of the game. This game is on Kickstarter right now, already fully funded, so you can go and back it and know that you will get this game. It is a ton of fun, solo experience, legacy, expandable, plays in... It took us a while because we did a lot of chatting, but literally you can play a game in less than 10 minutes. You only need a small space to play. Those are all things that I love about the game. The art is gorgeous. I love the dual-sidedness, the fact that the deck is either going to help you or hurt you, depending on whose turn it is. There's just so many wonderful things that I can say about it. Once I get this video up on YouTube, I'll leave links to everything in the description of that below so that you guys can check it out. Dennis, do you have anything else you'd like to add before we say goodbye?
No, good Lord, this is my life right now. So it is all Deck of Wonders all the time. I've just been really grateful for the community that's popped up around this game, and people like you, people like just people that hang out in the comments of the Kickstarter. It's a really cool group, and I'm so glad to have you and everyone else as a part of it. So, yeah, thank you so much for hosting this. Thank you to everyone who's taken a chance on the game.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to just share even more of it. I'll drop a link for the people that are in the chat, although I imagine they know. But yeah, I'm just grateful that people have responded the way they did, and I can't tell you how much it means to me.
Well, it's a great game, and I think everybody is going to enjoy it once they have it in their hands. I can tell you that I do. And I know that you do some stuff on Tabletop Simulator as well, so hopefully folks can get a hold of you. And I don't know, do you plan on doing any more Tabletop Simulator streams?
I think so. I think it's one of those, when the spirit moves,
sure.
I can jump on and crank out a couple games.
Yeah.
One of my latest videos, I think I did 5 in a row in the space of an hour.
Wow.
So you were talking about how fast it can play.
Yep.
It really does speed up, while still having those technical decisions.
Sure.
So yeah, you can watch me playing it on Tabletop Simulator if you go to my YouTube, which is just my name, Dennis Furia. You can also play it for yourself on Tabletop Simulator. So if you like what you saw here, you don't need a physical copy to try it. The demo is on Tabletop Simulator right now for free. You can find the mod on my socials, on the Kickstarter page, and try it for yourself. and maybe give Louie some pointers, because he seems to be struggling. He really seems to need some help.
Stinking Cullen, man. And look at his
Of
mug.
course.
Like, look at his mug.
Oh,
He's just like,
he was, you know what it was?
He's so dirty
He was
about it.
sandbagging. He was sandbagging in all your other games, just waiting until you were on stream to pull the rug out from under you.
He's just like, wait until you have Dennis in your corner. Then I'm going to really thump you.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Times.
And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their long holiday weekend. And until next time, this is Daddy Louie, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.